Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today we're here with a video about play boosters, the long-awaited play boosters for Wonders of the First. Now, if you're anything like me, you've been waiting anxiously to get information about these play boosters and to finally get your hands on them. And now we have a bunch of information about when we can expect them and what exactly is coming in the packs. So first of all, it was confirmed that we're getting play boosters within the next few weeks, which is really exciting. I want to specifically point out that that means that play boosters will be here before the very first appearance of Wonders of the First at SCG CON, the beginning of the competitive play tour, which is happening at SCG CON in Orlando at the end of August. So I do want to speculate just a little bit here that maybe these play boosters are going to be playing an important part in the events coming up at SCG CON. I don't really know that for sure, but if I was a betting man, I would think that maybe the play boosters are what we're primarily going to be using in sealed deck competitions or in draft competitions, and I'm hoping that we get full information regarding these tournaments ASAP. But it just seems like the timing is a little too coincidental, and I kind of hope I'm right about that. I hope that we really get our first crack at seeing these things in action in Orlando at SCG CON at the very start of the competitive play tour. I think it's going to be really awesome, and I know for sure at the very least there is going to be some sort of limited event at SCG CON in Orlando. We're not entirely sure if there's also going to be constructed events or what the other SCG cons look like down the line, but at the very least there is going to be some sort of limited event at SCG CON in Orlando at the end of August. So I'm thinking these play boosters probably play an important part when it comes to that. We also do have confirmation about the cost. The MSRP of the bundles, which is how they're going to come packaged, are going to be $29.99. Now, these bundles are similar to the collector booster bundles that we saw at the very launch of the existence set, and the bundles are basically 6 packs in a box. So rather than getting like an entire booster box of 30 packs, you're going to get a bundle box that has 6 packs in it. And I think just doing these bundles and not doing the full 30 pack booster boxes is kind of smart based on what they want these play boosters to do, what sort of function they want them to accomplish. Primarily, these play boosters are going to be for the players to get their hands on the cards they need to build all of the different deck ideas that they have as cheaply as possible without having to spend a bunch of extra money doing like collector's boosters, which have chances to hit all of the crazy stuff that are in the first printing of the first set existence, such as the OCMs and the serialized stuff and the stone foils and all that, the formless foils and all of that. So if you're just a player that just wants to spend the least amount possible and try to get your hands on as many cards that you need for your deck as possible, that's the primary function of these play boosters. They're not primarily meant for collectors, although I do want to say everything that seems to come out of this game does sort of have a slant towards the collector, where there is always something that is enticing for the collector. And these packs are no different. And before we get to exactly what these packs are going to contain that are chases for the collectors, I just want to kind of dive deep into the idea that these 6-pack bundles are sort of perfect. Not only because you can buy a limited number of packs if you're looking to just build constructed decks, but it's sort of the perfect amount of packs for limited as well. If you're doing sealed, you're gonna need 6 packs to open to build your sealed deck. So the fact that these bundles just come with 6 packs means every single person that participates in a sealed tournament just needs 1 bundle and you're good to go. But also, if you're gonna draft is going to require 3 packs. So even if you are just showing up to your LGS wanting to do a draft that night, your LGS still only needs to open up 1 bundle for every 2 players, and you've got the 6 packs and 1 player gets 3 and the other player gets the other 3, and you're never in a situation where you have to open up a bundle to get half the number of packs you need, and the others are kind of just sitting around. I guess unless you have an odd number of participants, which I don't really expect to happen very often. And there will probably be prize support, I would assume, for those limited events as well, so they're probably going to need to divvy out some packs for prize support, so it's probably not a problem even if that is the case. But I just think the numbers line up really well with what these play boosters are supposed to be prioritizing, which is just the player. So I'm pretty excited about where it seems like things are lining up for these play boosters. I'm excited to get my hands on them. But before we get any crazier, dive in any deeper with the rest of the information I have for you guys, let's take a look at the chases that are put into these packs specifically as a little bit of an extra incentive for collectors. So even though the collectors are a little bit on the back burner when it comes to play boosters, they aren't being forgotten entirely, and there are 10 alternate arts to chase that are only available within the play boosters, and they're actually pretty interesting. They're both commons, so those of you that have got the collector boosters, the first printing early, you don't need to worry about there being really crazy cards that you thought you were buying in early and getting that wouldn't be available later, and now they're available in these play boosters. That's not the case. They're being very careful with what kind of chases they add to the play boosters so that they're enticing enough to collectors, but at the same time they don't make anybody who bought in early to the collector boosters in that first print run, they don't want to make them feel too bad that they invested a bunch of money in something and now you can just get play boosters for cheaper and get things that are just as good. So it is a fine line to walk, and I think they're doing a pretty good job. They have 10 alternate arts here, and they did confirm that these alternate arts are going to use the formless foil style. Now, we don't know for sure if that means they're going to actually be foiled like formless foils or not. If I was a betting man, I'd probably say not, but we do know that they're going to use the formless foil style, so they're not going to have the border like you see here on this Pink Spore Dream Cap. They're not going to have this this line edging on the border. It's going to have full arts that go all the way to the edges, and they have that similar setup to the formless foils. We just don't know if they're actually foil or not. But like I said, if I was a betting man, I would say probably not. But that being said, they are still really, really cool. 10 alternate arts. They're both commons. And the first of which is this Pink Spore Dream Cap right here. We're getting actually 7 new art variations of the Pink Spore Dream Cap. I don't have these images yet. As soon as they're released, I'll make sure and do a video so that you guys know exactly what all 7 variations look like. But I want to point out that the Pink Spore Dream Cap is a really cool card to do this with, because it's the one card in the first set in existence where it says right in the text you can have any number of Pink Spore Dream Caps in your deck. So you can include 7, 8, 9 copies of a card like this in your deck and use one of each alternate art just to like bling out your deck and make it extra special. So for those of you that want to build decks around Pink Spore Dream Cap, being able to chase down each of the alternate arts in these play boosters, I think is actually really, really cool. And I'm excited that they did this. I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on every single one. The other card is still a common. We have 3 varieties of alternate arts for this other card, but it's probably the best common in the set, widely agreed upon as being a very, very important card in the meta, and that is Moonfire Crystal Mouse. Anybody that's been playing this game for a little while knows how important this little guy is. 2 cost, only 1 power, but that doesn't really matter. Sacrifice free, draw 2 cards, gain 2 energy. Absolutely insane. I've said in the past that I think this guy is kind of like part of the Power 9, this game's version of the Power 9, if you will, if there was a Power 9. And it's going to be really, really cool to have 3 different alternate arts for the Moonfire Crystal Mouse to chase down in these play boosters, because you can include 3 copies in your deck since it's a secondary wonder. So if you get all 3, you could theoretically bling out your deck with one of each alt art and then feel just that much more extra special when you bring your deck to a tournament and actually end up playing against, you know, the craziest players in the game in the top 8 or what have you. I think it's going to be really, really cool. I think blinging out your deck for this game is going to feel really, really good once it starts to catch on with more players and people start getting their hands on more cards and the second set is released. I think there's just so many opportunities for just making your deck really shine with alternate arts, with foils, with formless foils, potentially even OCMs. I don't know if anyone out there is crazy enough to actually play with OCMs, but that would be a wild thing to see, like the finals match of a tournament and someone's got an OCM in their deck and they're using it to win. Just stuff like that I think is going to be really, really crazy moving forward, and I think this game is positioned to be very, very strong as far as that aspect of the game, being able to get these crazy chase cards and using them to bling out your deck and feel just that much more proud of what you built and brought to the tournament. I think it's going to be super fun. So again, I don't have the actual alternate arts for Moonfire Crystal Mouse to show you guys yet, but as soon as I get those, as soon as I see those cards, I'll make another video so that you guys can see exactly what all of the alternate arts are going to look like. I'm really, really excited that these are the cards that they chose. I think because they're commons, it does match up with the philosophy that Wonders has to not ever make their collectors feel like they're missing out in any significant way by buying that first edition print run of the collector boosters rather than the play boosters. I think everything they're doing here is really, really smart, and I am super looking forward to it. Now, before we end the video, I do just want to mention that when they announced these play boosters, they also announced that they have a survey out right now that they're hoping all of you guys will fill out, as many of you guys as possible, because they're trying to use this survey to gauge how many they should have on hand, exactly how many people are interested in buying, but there's also a bunch of information in there about set 2 and trying to gauge how they should do certain things for set 2, and it would be super helpful for the game moving forward if you guys would fill out that survey and send it in so they have a better idea of exactly what direction they should take things in moving forward. So before we're done with this video, we're just going to briefly go over what that survey looks like. So here's the survey that they're hoping that all of you guys will fill out. It's just giving them information about play boosters and about Call of the Stones, which is set 2, which should be coming out in October. Just giving them more information about allocation and exactly the direction they should take moving forward. So very briefly, let's just go over what this survey entails. First of all, it says, Existence play boosters coming soon. We know you've eagerly awaited play boosters for our Existence set, and we have good news. They will be arriving soon in the form of play booster bundles. There will be 6 packs each, similar to the collector booster bundles, but built for play. MSRP will be $29.99. And they're asking here, how many Existence play booster bundles do you plan to purchase at MSRP? And then going further down, they're also asking, Call of the Stones is coming this October. We are looking ahead to the release of Set 2 Call of the Stones. If you could order directly from Wonders, how many Call of the Stones collector booster boxes, first edition, would you purchase? 6 boxes per case. And how many Call of the Stones play booster bundles would you purchase? Which is an interesting bit of info there, because that means that from this point moving on, starting with Set 2, they're probably going to be releasing play boosters right alongside collector boosters, and you can get both of them right from the get-go, which I think is really interesting. They're also asking here, our Call of the Stones release will feature mythic decks, working name, pre-constructed decks with 1 mythic each. There will be 3 versions, each with a different mythic, which will include serialized chase cards. How many mythic decks would you purchase? And then moving on here, while we have you, do you plan to attend or compete in any upcoming SCG cons? Select all that apply. And they have all 4 of the dates for the rest of this year, starting in Orlando at the end of August and ending in Las Vegas in November, which will be the World Championships. I'm super excited. I'm going to be at all of them. But just check off whichever ones you think you'll go to. You don't have to be super sure right now. They just want a basic ballpark idea of exactly what you're thinking. And then the last question here, if we have a limited sale requiring an access code, to what email address should we send your access code? And this is why you should fill out this survey. Put your email in there, and they might have some crazy good deals or benefits to send your way in the future, the very near future. So I'm really excited about set 2, I'm really excited about play boosters, and I'm really excited about this competitive play tour. So let me know how you're feeling about things in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.